Enjoying secrets of a sugar daddy? How about a little something extra? Here's today's dose of extra sugar with Marcus.
Hey, this is Marcus, and welcome to the segment of Extra Sugar. All right, I've got a couple stories you do not want to miss. These are crazy. Hey, but before I do, patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. You want to join us. Our family is growing by leaps and bounds. The chats are going nuts. The postings are fantastic. You're going to get to hear all the episodes and extra sugars before anybody else. You're going to get to chat with other members, and they are posting profiles, meeting each other, exchanging information. It's a lot of fun. Scenarios that they're getting advice on. You also get until the end of April 2024, and I know we only have one more day, so you're going to want to get in on this. Coaching and a profile review is included with the basic membership. That's only $10 a month. Now, we have other memberships available, but if you sign up for the $10 a month membership today, basically, you will get coaching and profile review. Now, that is available to our other tiers after today, so you want to get in on that great special. Also, too, we've got some parties coming up, and our VIP members will get an invitation before the public. So you're definitely going to want to get on that list. On to today's extra sugar. So the sugar baby had this terrible situation, and here it is. She says, I was with a man for over a year on and off. When we got back together, I told him it was just hookups and not a relationship. He was from Seeking, and he asked me one time if I was seeing anyone else, and I said yes, and he flipped out. I told him I never agreed to be exclusive and was clear with him that this was just for fun, NSA. He still claimed I cheated and whatnot. He was so angry with me and threatened all these things, like going to my job, calling my parents, posting naked images of me, etc. But he also told me before that he wasn't actually going to ever do that. Stupid me, I believed him. He called my mother and my father. I played it off to them, giving them the necessary info. I also went to the police, and they told me there is not much they could do unless he made threats to physically hurt me or has hurt me or posted any images of me I did not give him consent to. It's illegal to post those photos without consent in New Jersey, no matter the age of the person in the pictures. Now, being honest, he did grab me by the neck when he found out I saw other people, but there is no evidence of that at all, so I didn't even mention it to the police. I even spoke to a social worker, and she said it's unlikely that I would be able to get a permanent restraining order unless he has done something to physically hurt me, and even if I could prove he did, it's not always enough. Anyways, I settled for asking the officer to call him and tell him it's illegal to blackmail and share photos of me if I did not give consent and some other things along those lines. Now he is texting me saying anything posted on the internet is forever and it's just a terrible situation. Even more so, he told me he loved me, to which I would always respond, no you don't, because no one would ever even threaten those things if you loved the person. Crazy story that I'm still very much dealing with. One thing about these guys is they will fawn over you when they have you, but if they ever lose you, they will do anything they can to make you pay for it, as in wising up and leaving them. So yeah, that's my story. If anyone has dealt with something similar or has some advice or any comforting words to offer, please do not hesitate. So a sugar baby says, well, someone tried to blackmail me into a relationship with them. Thankfully, they never physically assaulted me like in your situation. But they did send things to my parents, my work, my friends. It was awful. But everyone in my life was supportive of me. I think notifying the police of his behavior is the best thing you could have done. I'm so sorry you've had to go through this. And she responded, yes, it feels like he is trying to blackmail me into a relationship. This happened everything I just talked about, the police, my parents, threatening to go to my jobs, and I somehow took him back. We signed a contract saying he would never do it again, and if he did, he would owe me a large sum of money. My end of it was I had to be honest with him about dating sites and can't have one unless he agrees and has access to it. I asked him if I could join a website, and he said yes, so I did, and then didn't tell him about it or give him the password till a day or two later. I didn't wait for him to ask me, I told him myself. And he is claiming I broke the agreement and the deal is off. But he was doing everything I ever asked him to do in our relationship, and I was happy and working on trusting him, so I let the arrangement be. I don't really think that I broke it. I never lied to him about the account. I asked him if I could make it, and he said yes. A few days later, he asked me if I had done it, and I said no because I hadn't at the time. I think it was the next morning I made it when I was in bed while he was at work, and that was it. I just created the account. Then the next night, I told him I made it, and he was furious. He claimed I broke the deal because I didn't tell him the second I made it. Maybe this is enough to handle the situation, but I'm iffy on that because I'm sure he could get some damn good lawyers to prove his thoughts. Anyways, my point was whenever I am with him, he is 100% there for me, but the second I'm not, he throws everything I confided in him about right back in my face, even sensitive details about my family, and now he's sending me texts saying, the internet is forever. You broke your end of the contract. But I promise you, if I got back with him, he would completely drop all that until next time I end things. Not that I would ever get back with him now. And then the Harvard Law sugar baby replies, you have a signed contract? I'm not your lawyer and I'm not giving legal advice, but there are resources in every county on how to sue in pro se, meaning on your own without a lawyer. Wow, this is crazy. I didn't realize that it went as deep as that. You know, sometimes people don't reveal all that in the initial posting, so that took a different turn. We have another sugar baby that responded with her own story. It says, so I will be completely honest when I say specifically look for sugar relationships because of what happened to me. So I met someone online, a few months, he comes out. Here's where it begins. So he has zero respect for me. Upset because my son wanted to come home, and I asked him if he could just hang out in my room until he went to sleep. It was 10 p.m. He sits outside for like 3 hours. Basically, we argued. He had his bro come pick him up to fly back home. I told him after he got home that there was no way anything between us would ever continue. Once he is home, the chaos begins, calling my work nonstop, calling me 70 to 150 times. He told my boss I offered him drugs on a test drive. The only reason a manager 100% believed me is because my boss asked, well, who was the manager on that day? He proceeds to tell him the name, but that guy died a few years ago. So it was even worse because the owner's wife and I share the same first name. He kept this up day after day after day. I called the police. He called as the officer was there, said, put it on speaker. Cop hears the conversation, then gets on the phone, tells the guy to leave me alone. Does he stop? No. I attempt to get a restraining order, but because I'm not in a present and current threat or danger, it was denied. I finally quit my job. He threatened my son, said he was going to call CPS on me, said I was abusing my kid and doing drugs around him. It was insane. I was thankful he lived out of state because honestly, I was fearful. Man, I tell you what, sometimes these sugar daddies are not mentally stable. You know, I did an episode or an extra sugar about are you mentally prepared to sugar date, and it was more directed towards the women. But even my co-host, I remember Amy, she went out, met a very popular restaurateur here. He owns one of the most popular restaurants in Scottsdale. And he even had a pregnant girlfriend at the time. And he became obsessed with my co-host Amy, started love bombing her, telling her that he loved her. He had only seen her like 2 or 3 times, and it was absolutely crazy. She finally just had to block him and move on. The guy was just not mentally there. So be careful out there, sugar babies and sugar daddies. Not everybody in the dating world is meant to be in the dating world or can handle the pressures of a relationship. So if you see the signs of a red flag like that, just end it amicably as best you can and move on. I know it's not always easy. Sometimes, like the original poster said, if she went back to him, everything would be great. But then as soon as she tried to break up with him again, it would all start over and the guy would just go berserk. So, yeah, that's a tough situation to be in. It's not a perfect world out there. I know there's a lot of great sugar daddies and great sugar babies, and that's why you got to dig through a lot of bullshit to find them. But they're there. You just got to filter through these. I'm sorry this happened to you, but it's not all bad. Just keep searching, and you're going to find the one. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Extra Sugar. And don't forget to go to our Patreon. It's at patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy Podcast. You're going to definitely want to take advantage of the profile review and coaching till the end of April 2024. Now, it is available. We have different tiers that you can also sign up for, and we have those parties coming up, so you're going to want to get on the list for that. And we'd always love a follow on Instagram, Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. And if you have any crazy sugar dating stories, we want to hear those. Go to our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed your Extra Sugar with Marcus. As always, visit our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to comment or tell us your story.